Hey, today, guys, Alfie and myself are talking a bit about actually monetization of music producers in 2021. Um, because today there are a couple of other options, at least there, although I think one is the most important, nevertheless, today, and we're going to talk about that. I'm Parandroid for the people that don't know, but you probably know from the channel name. That's my friend Alphy Psyche.
Hello, my friends. Welcome to another podcast from me and Sammy. We are going to talk about very interesting subject: how you can make money from your music, and stay with us in this topic.
Yeah. So, did you have some? Do you have some bullet points, or do you just openly want to talk about it?
There are lots of things to get money from it. There's bunch of stuffs as we talk about before and manage our talking points. There are some stuffs we can talk about as how you can make money from your sampling to sell your music with label records and how you can have benefit from that,
Yeah.
or
But also about actually how big that benefit is. I think that's a very important point.
yeah, this is a very big benefit
Because
in
it's
this
not
case.
very big. Like the streaming revenue obviously is tiny usually especially for artists of our size. It's basically in my case I can almost kind of neglect it. It's some side money in my case, but okay, I'm not the prime example from streaming numbers and stuff like that, even for, my kind of project. But for me, it's like, I think maybe I have actually no clue, but I would say maybe 1 to 2,000 euros a year or something like that. And not
2000
even
as
sure if
in
that is accurate. So, like in my case, I could never ever live from streaming revenue. For example, I could just never do it. It's impossible in my case. So, what do you think is the most important revenue for artists? What is the most important thing that brings you money? I think your situation is very different from
exactly.
mine.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly. In
So,
this case, you have a lot more experience as a manager of a label record and as an artist. Uh,
yeah.
and in this case, because we have a very crazy situation in Iran and these stuffs,
Yeah.
this
Well, maybe let's explain the situation for people that don't know exactly. So basically, Alfie cannot, in most cases, you cannot play in Iran like in Europe or in US or in the rest of the world, basically. You can play, but only in limited circumstances, I guess, right?
exactly. No
Yeah, like for
groove, no nothing, no dancing, no grooving. People have to sit always
yeah,
because if they
yes,
move, it's forbidden.
it's
It's
satanic.
crazy. Yeah,
It's
exactly.
satanic. So, in my case, like when I look back on my career, the most important revenue source, without a question, was actually playing on festivals and touring. That was the thing that really brought money when I was really booked a lot, which is not the case at the moment. For various reasons, one being Corona and probably many other reasons, but around maybe 2013, 14, 15, where I was really earning good money with my live sets. Actually, I made the bulk of the money, and then I made some stuff on the side. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like, I think nowadays, actually, realistically, most important thing for musicians to earn money is actually playing live would be the best probably. But then has also a caveat. You need to be like, your price is determined by several factors. And today we live in a bizarre world of social media. So actually, organizers, they look at social media numbers. Social media numbers can come from anywhere. They can come from paid advertisements, they can come from clone farms, they can come from scripts, they can come from anything. And therefore, it's kind of not ideal as a sole indicator without checking back with other things. So, for example, let's say two artists. one of the artists is always putting some money in advertisement, even just small money, but he's putting money on SoundCloud tracks, which he doesn't really make money on. Like, you don't make money. Like, nowadays you can monetize it, but you don't really make money on SoundCloud. I guess I don't monetize it on SoundCloud. Wait, where was I? I lost the plot.
You can
It doesn't matter.
you can have money in lots of places, but in case of SoundCloud, you cannot.
Yeah,
monetize.
exactly. You don't make money, but organizers are looking at that, and it's for some organizers a main indicator would be Bandcamp, and so like this is really not necessarily as a sole thing. If you look at that, not very reliable information, because it depends how organized the artist is. If he pays advertisement money to promote his tracks or not, because in our today's social media world, it's literally you pay or you don't really get that much traffic, and especially also not meaningful traffic. So Instagram has quite a bit of traffic, but it's actually not that much worth because you cannot monetize it as easily as other traffic. And I'm drifting a little bit too much in the social media thing there, but as I said, the main point is normally the bulk of the money you make with live sets. In my case, I did the most money with that. And then another good revenue is for sure the tutorial videos and teaching and presets and stuff. This was for myself personally. It actually worked quite well. Like, it actually generated some money that was not like, not enough to buy a Ferrari for sure, but it definitely helped me survive. Like, depending on the product that you're selling. So digital products is an option, and teaching is an option, especially now actually during the Corona times, I think.
Yeah, exactly. In the Corona, really the sample packs can make you some side money from that. But as you say, the coronavirus fucked everything. Actually, you can make money from your gigs and playing in the festivals and lots of stuffs. But
Yeah.
in this case, something like Corona affects these kind of things. But from your contracts with labels records, you can always have money from 4 or 5 years, depends on your contract.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, but in this case,
little by
I can
little-
explain you. I can explain you if you want.
Yeah, sure.
How little that is effectively. It's like, for example, in my case, I'm not the only owner of the label. I'm 50% shareholder in this case, together with Peter, and that means that I actually have to pay Peter 50% of the profit margin. And the profit margin is not that big in the first place and can only work over quantity, basically. Like, it can only work by having a lot of high-profile releases. Not just one, but actually a lot. Which we, for example, don't have at the moment. Like, is coming Briskers, and Alien Chaos was coming. That's good, and we're working on many releases right now, and some VAs are almost ready and so forth, but it's not an easy thing, actually, to even make some substantial money there. That's also kind of side money, I would say. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's always this thing with accumulative. You can make money. Basically, you make some money there, you make some money there, you make some money there. And with everything together, you can survive. I think a lot of people are doing it that way, and then there's also a tremendous amount of music producers who are not doing it as their main job, and they have a day job, which is, especially in psytrance, it kind of makes sense because it's a very unstable scene. It's like, in general, probably it's an unstable thing to be an artist. It's like sports. It means that you can make money with that is substantial. For example, with live acts, if you have a high price and you get a lot of bookings, there are some artists who made more than $100,000 a year. There's one artist that I know that got, one group of artists that I know that got $100,000 for one gig, for example. But that was Ozora, and it was Rajaram. So he deserves it, kind of. He's like fucking 70 years old.
But
so how is it for?
How much can? Is there any? How much can a new artist start to make money? In this case, for example, let's think there is a person to start. In this case, have a good music. So how can he make music from his music? In your opinion?
Yeah. So somehow the people need to know about it, and music works a lot with word of mouth. So actually people love something and then they show it to their friends. And it's incredibly competitive. As competitive as doing really intense high-level sport or something like that. So there's a lot of competition. And you have to first either get bookings fast. That's the best way. That's actually the best way. Because in the beginning, let's say when you're just starting your project, if you don't have a really solid marketing plan with really money involved, you're not going to have a lot of potential buyers and streamers immediately. So at first, you need to make a name for yourself so that this even brings the remotely any money. I mean, that would be the first thing for sure. And then actually I would recommend anybody to really focus on the live acts, on the gigs actually. Like I was really lucky. I started to play quite quickly and could make money like that. A bit at the side. And what I also did, I have to admit, is I always said to myself, this is my job, this is my thing. Even when I just started out. So I just was pulling through, basically, through the hard time. Because in the beginning, you're bad at what you do. That's without a question. And you have to become good and you have to get recognized. And it's not easy at all.
Yeah.
Actually.
In this time, actually, we are lots of artists every day.
Yeah.
And there are lots of good artists, really good artists. And competition with these artists are really hard.
Yeah.
Actually,
exactly.
Beginners, it's impossible.
But it's not impossible. You have to be extraordinarily good. So this is for sure. And then you need to have a little bit of luck also to have the right people listening to your shit. That can be good, but yeah, so that you just have some track placed nicely and it bombs. It really is a hit, for example. That can change a career.
Yeah.
One track can change a career. Actually.
Yeah.
I saw that many times. I give you a couple of examples. Oxydoxy, Poison Turtle, Parandroid, I Love LSD, Technical Hitch, Mama India.
Exactly.
Those are the tracks.
Hit tracks, yeah.
Hit tracks, yeah. That were played all over the world. And this can make a difference. So one track can ultimately really change your career if it's becoming a hit, but it's something that you cannot control. Not fully control.
Yeah, but you can go for what top hit tracks have in this case, how the groove, the quality of the sounds, the rhythm.
Yeah,
these are.
But I didn't do that. For example,
you have the good choice of choosing good and nice sounds in this case.
I was very
do it. Actually.
Yeah, I was very motivated at that time. I was incredibly motivated. I was just about to play on a fantastic festival before I wrote I Love LSD. And it took me only one day to write the track itself without mixing and mastering. And it was this great energy of motivation that I made it. I'm sharing stage with all those big names. And it's this vision that you have, okay, you are going to be on the dance floor or on the stage and you're going to present your stuff there, and this motivation was leading to that. But it was not knowledge and it was not analytical thinking. But you can do that. You can totally go to Beatport and analyze what Psytrance top 10, but what is Psytrance top 10? Triplets and chopped vocals. I think that's since 10 years like that. I don't know, didn't check, but I think it's still...
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe we can check that at some point. What is the top 10 in Beatport at the moment, you know? Could be interesting. Not now, but at some point we can maybe check that out. When I checked the last time, it was utter garbage. No creativity, no fidelity, even like decent production for sure and decent mastering, but zero fidelity or vision, in my opinion. That's just my opinion. In this case, like the Beatport top 10 is horrendous in my... Creatively, it's bankrupt. Yeah. So, but you can do that, and it's a valid choice, and many artists did that. For example, Berg was something like that. There are so many clone artists who are doing exactly that, triplets and chopped vocals, and they have a good marketing plan. They know how to present themselves. They maybe have some friends that are good at that. You know, that can be very helpful if you have a friend who studies marketing, for example. And
exactly, this is a really very important point, because if you had a really good track, but after the publishing, no one hear the track, or it's really important how you publish, where you publish, how you manage these kind of things. It's really important.
It's definitely a thing, how you publish it. But on the other hand, it has its own life, kind of. You know what I mean? Like a good track can get viral by itself. In many cases, they get leaked, for example, and then they get viral.